Hi. We're cooking today. Chocolate for breakfast. I'm Charlie. I'm gonna put these down. I'm Charlie. I'm the head tinkerer here at Momentus. I have chocolate in my mouth. Feeling good. We are doing our first ever baking class today, and I'm extremely excited for three big reasons. One, we're doing it with Samba Schutte, and Samba is a beacon of light. I got to know him last year, and that event that we did was so amazing that he was one of the first few people I really wanted to work with for this amazing new adventure that we're all on. So we're going to learn to bake an Our Flag Means Death cast favorite dessert. That one that was actually made for Vico Ortiz's birthday as well. I hope you all have your recipes, your ingredients, your aprons, your pins. We are going to bring in front row now, I believe. So front row, we can see you. Hi, Meredith. And I just want to go through some housekeeping as we get started on this lovely adventure. I hope I won't do a terrible New Zealand accent. It sometimes comes out. I love New Zealanders, but I have a terrible accent that I do. So a few reminders before we get started. I'd like to welcome the front row in here. Hello, Nalani. Samba may call on you during our baking adventure, so just be ready to unmute and pay close attention. We're going to make some baking magic today. Hi, Olivia. And it's going to be a chocolate of fun. I'm so sorry. That's a terrible pun, but I can't help it. There's going to be more puns. I'm sorry. For everyone joining us at home, we want to see your creations. So your failures, your process, your station, your baking station. So feel free to post selfies and photos of your masterpieces, your disaster pieces, everything in between. Tag Samba and Momentus, and we'd love to see them. So let's do it. A quick note, if you are in the front row, hi, Alicia. Hi, Sam. If you are in the front row, we do have our interpreter here today, Berto. So please do as I say and not as I do. I try to speak slowly and clearly and thoughtfully complete sentences. I sometimes get a little carried away, but please, if you can do that, that would be very helpful. And yeah, our charity today, you've raised money for Every Mother Counts, an incredible organization that is tirelessly working to improve maternal health around the world for mothers everywhere. And we know that childbirth and maternal health is at risk around the world. So you are raising money for that and have raised money for that. Thank you very much. But enough of me, enough of this. It's time to throw me off the starboard bow and make me walk the plank. Let's get to the main event. Born in the Sahara Desert and growing up in Ethiopia, he's best known for Roach in the Juggernaut series on HBO Max, Our Flag Means Death, an incredible series that has an incredible fandom behind it. But he's also starred in Sunnyside on NBC, The Tiger Hunter on Netflix, and he's performed in video games as well, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and many other projects as an actor, writer, and comedian. And I'd like to introduce you to heartbaker himself, Samba Schutte. Samba, please join us, and let's get partying.
Hi, sorry, just torturing a few Oreos here. Morning, everybody.
Let me get you here. Hold on one sec.
Hi. I'm just starting to see a few screens pop up. Hey, everybody, how's it going? I see a few people. Yes, I love some of the aprons. Thank you for getting them, you guys. I love the daddy shirt. Hey, what's up? The mermaids, orange shirts in the house. Hello. Wow, Charlie, thanks for this. Hi, everybody. Good morning. I'm so excited to bake this chocolate tart with you all. Thanks for supporting the Momentus stands. Every Mother Counts for this Mother's Day. Quick show of hands. Who's baking this tart for Mother's Day? Who's baking it for themselves? Excellent. Hey, I see little Izzy over there. Is he? Was that the one who was at the convention? My God, nice, great nipples, great nipples. Okay, so without further ado, shall we just get started, Charlie? Shall we just?
Yeah, let's get started. We're gonna, if you need the recipe or the ingredients, our mod Kristen is going to share that now in the chat. Let's bake this chocolate tart.
Sounds good. And don't worry, ask questions. I'm going to guide you guys through this. If there's any questions, just hit up Kristen, Charlie in the chat, and we'll get going. All right, shall we do this? Excellent. I'm sure there's a few people who are gluten-free. Did those people already make the gluten-free tart shell? No, or just use gluten-free Oreos? Awesome. So yes. So what we're going to do first is going to make the crust. This recipe has 3 steps. It has the crust, the filling, and then the glaze on top. So first thing we're going to do, everybody, is turn on your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. If you haven't already done so, I'm about to do mine. 350 degrees.
Is it bake?
Yes.
Bake. Yeah.
Start.
350 degrees Fahrenheit. I hope you knew there was going to be an oven during this bake. Otherwise, we're in trouble. So we're going to start on the crust. First thing you need is your 2 bowls. In the bigger bowl, we're going to scrape the Oreos and put the Oreo, the cookie in here. And this bowl is to collect the filling. What you want to do is just use a flat knife, and we're going to scrape open about 20 Oreos, which is 340 grams or about 12 ounces. So first thing you do, take your Oreo, open it in half, right? If you're a monster, lick it. I'm not this morning yet.
So turn it on.
Scrape it and put it in your big bowl. And the filling, you can just save that in here for later if you're a monster. If you're not, I won't judge you if you lick the filling. A lot of people were wondering why dark chocolate Oreos. For me, it's because some of the filling is left on the cookie, and because dark chocolate adds just a little bit of extra taste and flavor to the crust. So if you have other flavored Oreos like mint or strawberry or whatever, it will have that taste in the cake. So I like dark chocolate. So yeah, about 20 Oreos. Let's not lose count. I've done 1, 2, 3. Number 4. If you're not using Oreos and you have your own favorite gluten-free chocolate or your own favorite chocolate cookie, yeah, you want about 12 ounces, 350 grams for a nice thick crust. So moving fast. Sorry, just scraping these. Hope you guys can keep up. I can't see the front row, so I can't tell. Let me make sure I can see everybody. What's this? Is this gallery view or there? See everybody there. Cool. How's it going? Nice. Was that Meredith? What flavor Oreo do you have? Chocolate hazelnut. Nice. All right. Very nice. I would have a little bit of a Nutella hint to the tart. Why not? I won't blame you if you eat that filling. Trust me. I love hazelnuts.
It basically tastes like extra thick Nutella. It's pretty good.
Yum, 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 yum. Excellent, excellent. So for those who can't count, I'm using about 2 rows of Oreos. That's going to be about the 20 cookies. And I'm guilty to have eaten a few, so it'll be 2 rows and a bit for me. Hope it's going well. It's gonna be messy. Olivia, I don't see you scraping Oreos. What's going on there? Oh, you're on mute. I can't.
Ah, there we go.
Sound.
My kitchen's in there, computer's in here, so
Oh,
where I'm taking notes and I'll make it later.
make it later. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me you were a baker.
I did not expect you to remember me. That's fantastic.
That's awesome. Daddy, who can't forget the daddy t-shirt? Come on, you guys.
Well, yeah, and I had to have the background as well. I got my
Oh,
butt cheeks in the background.
of course he's lurking.
You have my family cheesecake recipe.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to try that. That's so true.
You'll
Don't
have
say it
to-
out loud. Your grandma's gonna kill you.
Grandma would be okay with it. It's my sister who would throw a fit. But
Awesome. Can't wait to try. And Alicia, are you done? Hold on. You're gonna be unmuted in a sec.
Yeah, I did my Oreos this morning.
Smart. Smart.
How much should it weigh?
How much should it weigh when it's just the Oreo shells?
About 12 ounces. Like if it's 12 to 15, that's greater because then you'll have a thicker crust, but definitely not under 12.
Okay.
Definitely not. Yeah, this is the fun part. All right, I'm almost done. How's everyone keeping up? Tina, good. I see Shannon's over there with a rolling pin. What you doing over there, Shannon? Is that how you're scraping your Oreos? Oh. You'll be unmuted in a sec, but I think I see what's going on. You're murdering Oreos in a Ziploc bag. And giving them
Yeah, I've thrown my Oreos into a Ziploc bag and I'm just crushing them with the rolling pin, full on chaos over
Wow.
here.
Nice. That's a good method. Okay, so I have scraped my Oreos. I hope everyone is around the same level. Yeah, 12 ounces, about 20 Oreo cookies, which would be 40 individual little guys. As for this bowl, look, if you're a monster, just begin it. Don't worry. The fire is live after all. If it's not, we'll toss it aside later. So this is what we're going to use for the crust. These Oreos. Now, I had mentioned using a food processor. This little guy. If you don't have a food processor, you can do what some of our friends here have done and just crush the cookies using your hands. Just, get in there and kind of break them up in pieces. It'll take you a little longer, but trust me, it still works. You just want to get them as fine as possible. But I'm just going to use a food processor because that just crumbs it up nicely, tightly, and makes it very fine, which is great for the crust. Either way works. So if you have a food processor, just put about half of the cookies in there. Dropped it.
Berto, someone's going crustless and they're wondering if they should grease the tart pan before filling.
Someone's going crustless and wondering
If they should grease the pan before filling.
if there's no crust. No, I've never done it without a crust. It's basically just going to be like a mousse or a thick pudding then. So you don't need to grease the pan because you'll basically be eating it out of or serving it out of the pan that you dish it out of. So no, good question. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, so about half of your cookies in here. We're gonna blitz it till it's fine. Sorry for the sound, everybody.
It's noise canceling, so no one can hear it. Perfect.
All right, great. And then once you've ground up that first half, you can just put it back in the bowl with the other ones. You're gonna use the leftover whole cookies and put them in the food processor, the other half. So you gotta fish them out. Sorry, I told you it'd be chaotic. You fish them out, all the bigger chunks and pieces. If you're again using your hands, that's totally fine. Yeah, or smash it with a rolling pin in a Ziploc bag, like Shannon did. Just murder the heck out of these Oreos. And what's Kayla? Kayla, what are you doing there?
Oh, I food processed them this morning, so now it's just getting all the big pieces the rest of the way.
Oh, smart. We're doing this live. You're way ahead of us. Good job.
You don't want to hear my food processor. It's definitely not noise canceling.
Great. Okay, so I'm gonna process the other half. Sorry for the sound, everybody. Okay. Then what we're gonna do is gonna add the rest of the blitzed half to the half that's already in the food processor. We're gonna do one more round of blitzing to make sure we've got all the big chunks broken down. And what you're gonna do now as well is add a 1/4 cup of sugar. White sugar, brown sugar, doesn't matter. Get my sugar. I'm going to use white sugar, but you can use any kind of sugar. 1/4 cup, which is about 50 grams for the Europeans or other metric non-American people, which I was raised as. I don't know what's an ounce. What's seriously? Who invented that? What? What's a stone? What is a pound? Anyway, add your sugar to the food processor, and then just give it a nice little bits together. And it's gonna be a disastrous mess because it's gonna be chocolatey crumbs everywhere, which is what you're kind of going for. There you go. It's nicely blitzed. Add that to your bowl. Make sure you get it all out. And that's it for food processor world. Look at this mess. Well, it's gonna be. Look at this. All right. So what you want to do now that you've got your cookies all crushed up, hopefully by now, is you want to melt your butter in a medium saucepan or in the microwave, about 6 tablespoons, which is give or take 3/4 of a stick, or 85 grams apparently. So 3/4 of a stick of butter, which is 6 tablespoons. Just cut that and toss it in a saucepan without the foil, you guys.
Without the foil. Samba, people are asking about the 2 things. One, the number of Oreos was way more than 20 to get to 12 ounces, or how many ounces they need. Is it the number of ounces that they get from the sandwich pieces? Like which is the measurement?
I would say just go for the 20 to be safe.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then someone asked if they should use orange extract instead of vanilla extract for pirate reasons.
For pirate reasons. Sure. It'd be a different recipe in the sense that it'd be orange and chocolate, which is a fun combination. So it wouldn't be what I had done for the crew and for, you know, all the Vicos and David Jenkinses and other producers and people. But it's totally up to you. This is about self-expression. Just like with the orange tart, everyone tried their own thing. So, hey, if you want to use orange extract, go for it. Let me know how it is. But I'm just doing the OG recipe, which is with vanilla. So, hope that answered your question. We're gonna melt the butter in your medium saucepan. Now my oven, telling me it's ready. Just put it on medium heat, medium fire, till that butter burns. No, don't burn. Melts, and then, or if it's in the microwave, just melt the butter down to add to your crust. Any questions thus far? Sonia, so Sonia, yeah, you look confident. All right. Excellent. You ready for this? Good. Awesome. Some people are just waiting, sitting down. Who's that? Melissa? You got a little sous chef in the kitchen? Hi. You're gonna be unmuted in a sec.
It's not working? Okay, did it work? Okay,
Yeah.
this is Calvin.
Hello.
Hi, Calvin. How's it going?
Good.
You helping Melissa cook? Oh, for Mother's Day?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. Also, it's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. That's amazing. Are you eating the chocolate filling from the Oreos or?
Me?
Well, yeah, eating the filling?
Oh,
No?
wait, this? The white stuff in the side?
Yeah, or yeah, if it's the white stuff, yeah.
Oh,
Don't eat
so
it.
I'm gonna use that
Don't eat it.
robot for cooking.
You don't need it. The tart's gonna be sweet enough. You're gonna be fine.
Okay.
Great. So glad you're joining, Calvin. Keep an eye on the butter just so it doesn't burn or melt. If you've melted your butter in the microwave, it's probably already ready. So you can just go ahead and pour that into your bowl. Because what you're gonna do is you're gonna combine the butter with the Oreo bits and pieces, the souls of the Oreo cookies. You good, Sam? Nice. I like the orange shirt.
Thank you.
Looks great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Is that you got some pins on there too?
I don't right now. My pins are on a different piratey item at the moment.
Oh, nice. All right, no, that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy this process. Thanks for joining us. Nalani, I saw you dusting a bowl. Excellent. Oh, you're nice. You're added the butter.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot, so I use my hand, but please be very careful because it's hot butter. So use a spoon if you have to until it cools down. But basically, yeah, my butter's all melted, so I'm just gonna add it to the bowl of the crust and let it sit there for a second so I don't burn myself. And basically, this is how you make an Oreo crust for like cheesecakes or other cakes you'll make. This is the basis. It's butter and cookies. So, for example, if you're making crust with graham crackers, like for Khan, speaking of Khan, his favorite cake is a classic cheesecake. So I made that for his birthday, and he told me to F off, which is his way of saying thank you, I love you, and I appreciate it. But I use the graham cracker crust for that, which is basically the same recipe. You just use about 9 to 12 ounces of graham crackers, and you add some butter, and that's your crust. So yeah, make sure it's all integrated. I'm just gonna get in there, as you can see, hot butter. Please be careful with your hands. Don't lose your fingers. We've seen what happens. So if you do, we'll be able to sketch people in them, right? All right. Here's well integrated. Yeah, this is the ASMR for people who enjoy just sounds. All right. Once it's all mixed in, then you're ready to put it in your pan. And this brings us to the question of pans. So I'm going to be using your classic tart pan with a removable bottom. Some tart pans don't have a removable bottom. That's totally fine. I'm using a tart pan. Some people might be using a springform pan, which is this guy that has the thing around it that you can just unclick and pops the bottom off. Both are perfect. I've used both to bake the tart in. If you have any other kind of shaped pan, I've seen a few interesting ones. It should work, okay? There's no guarantee that you'll be able to take it out, the tart, that is. But I'm going to show you how to at least use this tart pan, which is what I'm going to be using today. If you're using a springform pan, let me explain how you're going to line it with parchment paper. Let me wash my hands because it's a mess. 1 second. Okay, basically, you're using a springform pan, the risk is that it will stick to the pan. You could just lightly butter the bottom and that'll help you remove the tart later. But what I like to do is use some parchment paper. So you don't need a parchment paper for the tart pan. This is just again for people who are using the springform pan. So what you want to do is just kind of line up some parchment paper that's about the size of the circle at the bottom. And just about like that. And then you just want to cut that piece. So you can just rip it up or use scissors. Don't worry about it being a perfect circle to fit exactly on this. Some people like it to be that way. I like for the parchment paper to be a bit bigger because when you're done with your tart, it'll be easier to lift it off the bottom of the parchment paper. So if you're using parchment paper on a springform pan, what you want to do is just butter the bottom of the springform pan so that your parchment paper can stick on there. So just butter it lightly. Put your parchment paper on there. Make sure it's nice and flat and goes all around the whole thing. And then you place it in the tart pan with the parchment paper hanging out around the outside. It'll look chaotic, it'll feel chaotic, but trust me, it'll make it much easier for you to lift the tart out of it after. So then you snap it back in. Sure it's nice and flat. And boom. We got this thing going on, a springform pan with a little bit of a bridal veil, if you will. You don't have to butter this part. I do, just so that when you put the crust, it will stick to the bottom here. So just add another layer of butter to the parchment paper. Again, is only for people using the springform pan. And then your crust will go in there. I'll explain how to do the crust in the springform pan in a second, but because I'm using a tart pan today, what we're going to do is the next step of the crust, which is putting your melted buttery crust in your tart pan. So just go ahead, pour it all in. You don't need to butter the tart pan. Put the butter in the cookies. Okay, if you're putting it in your springform pan, same process. Put it all in there, and now is the fun part. Just smush it flat as you can, and you'll notice that it's going to start going from the center to the sides, which is what you want. So just turn it slowly as you flatten it, push up against the sides, and it's going to be about 1 inch high, which is the height of a tart pan. If you're using a springform pan, push it to the sides and get about 1 inch in height around the sides of the springform pan. Just keep doing this. Some people use a cup or glass, but I like using my hands because then you make friends with the crust. Show them what's what. Flatten it, and now using your thumb, and this is also with when you do it in the springform pan, you push it all the way to the sides, and then use your thumb to press into the sides. So you really want to make sure it sticks in there. So using your thumb, don't worry about the height. At this point, some of the crumbs will overflow. That's fine. There's going to be a messy crust. But push it up against the sides and make sure that there's no gaps. So at the bottom of your crust, make sure there's no gaps. Make sure everything's filled out. If it doesn't reach the height of the tart pan, don't panic. It won't look as absolutely beautifully French and pretty. That's not what we're going for today. We're going for delicious. So make sure it's pushed up against the sides using your thumb. Press it in there. You get nice crust that way, a nice shape as well from the ridges of the tart pan. And then using your hand, just flatten the rest of it. Again, if you see gaps, fill them in with the like the crust pieces around it. Flatten it as much as possible using the palms or a cup or a glass, which some people do. And that's it. If you're using springform pan again, same process, flatten with your palm, push against the sides, and then use your thumb to press against the sides about 1 inch in height. Don't worry, it's not if it's not all even. And yeah, just use your palm to flatten it out. And this is the crust. I'm gonna wash my hands because we're gonna put this tart pan in the oven in a second. So I'm just gonna wait for a few people to catch up, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven.
Hey, everybody. Real quick, if you would love to check in with the front row here, if anyone has any questions too, while we're getting this done, just use the reaction feature to raise your hand if you can, just if you have any questions. Jennifer, I just saw that you said you're in the front row. You actually have a meet and greet, so we'll see you at the meet and greet. How's everybody's stuff going in the chat? Wanted to check on everybody in the chat, how your stuff is going. So let us know so we can see. Sweet.
Well, going well. Great, 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 great.
Nice.
Good. Jennifer, you look confident. You good? Jennifer Richards.
Let's see.
Awesome. Good. I don't see sweat. That's a good sign. I see someone else out there who's having fun. That's awesome. Thanks for joining.
Do you want to unmute there, Jennifer, real quick?
Hey, I'm actually Ariel. Jennifer is my girlfriend. She got
Oh.
me this experience as an anniversary
yeah.
present.
Oh,
Yeah.
congrats. Happy anniversary. Yay.
Thank you.
That's nice, Jennifer. Congrats, Ariel. Is this stressful for you? Is this a bad anniversary gift?
No, this is excellent. I love to bake and I'm really excited to be able to do this with you. I had bird robe on for a little bit earlier, but the tassels were really getting in the way. So I have this off to the side to relax
Please
in
do
when
wear
we're
it
done
when you're eating
baking.
the tart, at least do wear it when you're eating the tart.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Yay. Thanks, Jennifer.
Congrats,
Awesome.
Ariel.
Thanks.
Okay, if people are caught up, well, we're gonna pop this little baby into the oven. Now, very important thing right now, before you lift your tart pan, this has happened to me in the past, okay? This is tilt down so we can show them. Because mine has a removable bottom, you do not want to grab your tart pan from the bottom, because then the bottom will pop up and your crust will die, and you'll have to start again. And it's happened to me in the past, so I've learned my mistakes. Springform pan, you can do whatever. You can lift from the bottom. You can do all this stuff. Tart pans are French, very sensitive people, and so you have to lift them delicately from the sides without touching the bottom. Otherwise, the bottom will pop out, which is also important because when you take it out of the oven later, you have to put it on a flat surface, or again, if one part of the surface is elevated, tart bottom will pop out. So be careful. So we're gonna pop this guy into the oven. Be very gentle. 350 degrees. Hopefully your oven's preheated by now. And just gently lift your tart pan and place it in the oven. And we're gonna bake that for 10 to 12 minutes until it's nice, fragrant, toasted. So that's gonna be 10 to 12 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Boom. That's step 1, everyone. How's everyone doing? Woo, victory dance. Yeah. I saw that, Corey. I saw that dance move. All right.
Tina, how are you doing over there? Oh, just when you ate. Perfect. Sorry.
You ask me every time I put a banana in my mouth. I'm gonna stop eating bananas.
This isn't a banana recipe. What is this?
I had to make mine yesterday because physical limitations and getting around a kitchen being remodeled. So unfortunately, somebody already got a hold of my tart.
Ooh.
So I would say hello, but I sent him to the air show, my 3-year-old grandson.
Oh gosh, a
So-
pirate in the making.
100%. But I got a thumbs up from him as it smeared across his face and he ran out of the room. So
Awesome. Hey, good job. Yay.
I tried rum. I put rum in mine.
Oh, I wonder how that turns out.
That one's original, but I don't have tart pans, so I use little pans and
Yeah.
put rum. So
So let
we'll
me get
s-
this right. Your 3-year-old grandson had some rum this morning before going
no,
to
he
the
ate the,
show.
no, he ate the original recipe.
Okay.
Otherwise, we'd be in trouble. He'd be flying the planes.
Yeah,
He's
but he'd be, that's what I'm saying. He's gonna be piloting those planes this afternoon. Great. Well, everybody, this is my favorite part. Doing dishes. Yay. No. Again, we're gonna need these 2 bowls later. So while the tart is in the oven, we're gonna wash this off. I'm just gonna dump these fillings. I'm so sorry to people who are offended by that. Again, if you want to eat it, eat it. Gonna toss it out. And I'm gonna wash these 2 bowls because we're gonna need them in a second. So I'll be right back doing my dishes.
Such a responsible baker. We've got a couple of things too to come up here. We've got the Sur La Table gift card to announce. We did a random number generator on the total attendees. We're going to announce that in a moment. And a couple of other fun things. While Samba is both responsible and cleanly, which some of us are not.
I got an assistant doing the dishes. Yay!
Awesome. Any other questions? Use that Q&A and use the chat. Oh, people have already cleaned already. I see overachievers. Got it. And if you have any questions also, I know Samba, you wanted to chat a little bit too about some fun roomery things. But anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I'm happy to answer any questions people have. And I don't know, maybe shed some light on season dos.
Season dos. Season 2. Any questions about the baking or the season 2? Or am I baking? Yes, I am. I just am quickly between making sure everybody gets what they need here. So wow, look at that chat light up. Oh man.
Oh, I can't see it.
It's going fast. Air day, trailer day. There's so many things.
Oh, who's that?
Alice, how are you doing?
Meet Taz.
Hi.
A little tired. He's not mine, but he's from my in-laws. And
He's my baby brother.
Oh,
Our baby brother. Hey.
Oh,
how you doing, Alice?
good. It's going good, slowly but surely.
You making along?
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. We'll just get Samba back here real quick. I too have a dog. If anyone has pets, please. If any of our front row has pets too, please. We need. It's like a bylaw on Zoom that we introduce ourselves to pets.
oh,
I have a litter of foster kittens upstairs, but they're napping.
they're napping. What kind of pets?
Yeah.
Alice?
They're foster kittens for the shelter. It's kitten season, so
Oh,
very busy.
I can imagine. How many?
Three little 14-day-old babies.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's quite a few kittens. Wow.
And I have 5 of my own, but they're separated.
Yeah,
So it's a very busy house right now.
that's good. That's good. Hope I don't know. Do they eat chocolate tarts? These kittens? No, they're probably no.
No, but my rats do. They love dark chocolate.
Did you say rats?
Yep. I have 5 rats as well. Cats and rats in this house.
Wow. That is Tom and Jerry just happening live in the household. That's amazing. That's so cool.
That's amazing.
That's so nice. We
awesome.
have we had a rat. We had a rat on set on season 2 at one point. I'm not going to give context or anything. It's not a spoiler, but we did have a trained rat on set to do something. And they're so cute. They're so cute. But they're rats. And so something in your brain goes, don't touch it, you know. But it was a trained rat and he didn't do his job. So he got fired. Who's that, Adrian?
This is my roommate's dog, Nikki. Say hi, Nikki.
Oh, hi, Nikki. That's so fun. I love the shirt.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I love the shirt. He got fired. Nice,
We've got a couple of questions too about serving the tart. Can will there be a signature recipe for season 2, like the orange cake from season 1?
There's
I
a
don't know
few,
if you're allowed to
there's a few
say.
things in season 2. Like season 1, the orange cake was just a dialogue bit, and then it turned out to be this monstrosity among the OFMD fandom, which I love, and that's the whole point of this show, isn't it? Is to share the love. So yeah, season 2, there's a couple
Yeah.
little things that that'll be fun to share with everybody once it comes out.
We've also got, can the tart be served immediately from Julie? We're hoping to take it to a picnic after this.
Absolutely, yes. You'll just have to be mindful of how, because it's warm, the crust wouldn't have set fully yet. So it'll be harder to remove out of the pans. But I'm gonna, at the end of this class, show you how to remove it from the pan. But yes, the original recipe, the lady, Dana Garten, who had come up with her version of it, she served it immediately. So yes, absolutely, need it right away.
Hi.
Hi, I see all the
Hi.
all the little kids. I see Melissa, Tina's, Alicia's, Shannon's. Oh, cute.
Is it Michael or Mikkel?
It's Michael. I'm impressed. No one gets it right the first time.
Hey, hi, Michael.
My dog is hiding downstairs, and my cute kids are hiding in another room, so I have nothing to show. I'm sorry.
Oh, all right. Well, once the tart's out, trust me, everyone's gonna come out. Once that smell hits. Can you smell it? It's like fragrant right now. I hope your crust is doing well in the oven. Some ovens, for some reason, turn hot real quick, so do check on it so it's not burning. But a toasty crust still gives the flavor. So I'm excited for you to try it, Michael. I love the t-shirt.
It's fantastic. Thank you.
Sweet.
Yeah, everything's ready to go for the next step. So
Are we all ready to go to the next step, everybody?
well, I still have
Or you have a little bit, right?
1.5 minutes to take it out of the oven, but we can already talk about the next step, which is the filling. So I use semi-sweet bitter chocolate from GL. You do not have to use this brand. I want you to use your favorite chocolate. The original recipe, they used Lindt, which is nice too, but I've loved this version. And so what you're gonna need is basically about 6.5 ounces of chocolate. If you've used a chocolate bar, you're gonna have to chop that finely into pieces. Please watch your fingers. I use chocolate chips, so the work's already done for me. Because you're gonna need to melt it in some hot heavy cream in a second. So I'm just gonna measure out 6.5 ounces, which is 184 grams, or about a cup of chocolate. This is how I measure. Ignore me, you can do it your way. Basically, one pack of this packet is 10 ounces, right? So if you imagine this is 10 ounces, 5 would be about halfway, 6.5 would be about around here. So this is how I measure. I just basically hold it from where I'm about to, like where I think about 6.5 is, and I just pour the rest of that into a pan. This is not the way to bake, but who am I? I'm just gonna put about 6.5 ounces in my bowl, which you'll see by eye is about a cup's worth of chocolate. And there's ways to fix your ganache and stuff. If you have too much chocolate or too little chocolate, so don't panic. But about 6.5. That's my ringer. I'm gonna check on the crust real quick. What you want is just a nice fragrant toasty crust. So open the oven gently, and again use oven mitts and place your tart pan on a flat surface if you take it out of the oven, so the bottom doesn't pop up. Yeah, so let's take out our tart shell. Let's check on them.
Normally a show would have intermediate music, but
I know, right?
let me get my guitar one second.
So flat surface for your tart pan. As you can tell, it's nice, fragrant, toasty, which is what you're looking for. And it's very crumbly. It's supposed to be a messy, crust. It will set eventually, but let that sit there. as you work on the next step, which is the filling. I hope everyone's caught up and that they're happy with your tart shell. Yeah. All right, so the filling, like I said, 6.5 ounces of a chocolat, which is about a cup. Put that in a bowl, and you're gonna heat up about 1.25 cups of heavy cream. I don't recommend doing it in the microwave. You can, but there's something about bringing cream to an almost boil naturally that just helps this ganache set. So 1.25 cups heavy cream in a medium saucepan. Yeah. About a quarter.
People are asking if they can use double boilers as well.
To melt the chocolate and the cream?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to warm up the cream, you don't need it, right? Because you're just making it warm.
Right. I mean, you want to bring the cream to an almost boil, so it will melt the chocolate. But if you're melting, basically, I'm heating mine on medium heat, so it can start bubbling. What you want is for the cream to start bubbling around the sides, coming to an almost boil. Like it could be lightly boiling, but not a full-on boil. And then pour it into the chocolate. Some people, if they want, use a double broiler and melt the chocolate and the cream together that way. Sure, that works too. This is just a little faster. So while your cream is heating up on medium, we're gonna use a smaller bowl to put in 2 whole eggs. All right. So just crack the egg on the countertop like this in the middle. If you've never done it before, don't worry if this piece of the shell, you can always strain it after. So basically, you're gonna put your 2 eggs in this little bowl. All right. And a teaspoon of vanilla into the egg mix. Just about a teaspoon of vanilla. And keep an eye on your cream, but you want it to start like having bubbles around the side. So in the meantime, yeah, using a whisk or a fork, basically mix your eggs and vanilla together till it becomes fully incorporated. Just gently whisk it together. Any questions? Nadia and Sophia, I see you guys got both of y'all's working. That's good. Sure that it's fully integrated. I love the apron. Which one's Nadia? Which one's Sophia?
I'm Nadia, and that's my daughter, Sophia.
Hi, Sophia. I love the apron.
She's a big fan.
Yay. Thanks for
She
joining
got the
me.
rest of the family into it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Sophia. That's right. Yeah, just whisk the eggs very gently so it's all incorporated. Keep an eye on the cream. Mine's not there yet. There's some bubbles forming, but you want it to get to an almost boil, and I'll show you what it looks like. I'll pull the pan closer. And that's gonna go into the chocolate later. But if your cream's already on the boil, just pour it in your chocolate and let it sit there for about 30 seconds to a minute. Why we do this is so they can both get to know one another. Like Steve and Blackbeard. It takes time. You can't just jump into it. Although sometimes you can jump into it, but not for this. Oh, it'll split, which is what happened at the end of season 1. So you got to give them time to let it sit. I know these guys. Why did he go back home? You're going to put the cream in there and you're going to let it sit for 30 seconds. What that does is it allows the chocolate to release its fats very gently, so you can have that cacao butter or whatever it's called to integrate into the cream beautifully. And don't panic if your ganache is too runny or not set. I'll give you some tips on how to fix that. If it's too grainy or whatever, it's an easy fix. Don't panic. And the cream, Mine's 10 seconds away, and I'll show you what it looks like. It should be bubbling around the sides, not in the middle, because then it'll like spill over your pot. Just be heating up around the sides. You might see a little skin forming on top of it. That's all right. And this is what it's supposed to look like. Just go down, nice, bubbly, hot around the sides, simmering. Pour that into your bowl of chocolate. And leave the saucepan on the stove. I mean, turn off the heat, but keep it there so it stays warm in case you'll need it to help melt the rest of the chocolate. It's a little tip I learned. Let those guys sit there, the chocolate and the cream, for about 30 seconds. And using a spoon, you'll gently just start to give it a little stir, because you want all the chocolate to basically melt in the hot cream. Sometimes it's happened to me that not all the chocolate bits and pieces have melted by the end, which don't panic if that happens. You can basically put it in the microwave for 10 seconds and then keep stirring it so that all the chocolate melts, or you place it on top of the saucepan. You just heat it up, the cream in, and that heat will help melt the rest of the chocolate.
Yeah, so the chat is actually helping each other now too, because not all mediums heat is created equal, and not all, leaving it to sit for a moment before you start stirring can be very helpful. Yeah, creams are all created differently, unique.
They are. No cream is the same.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. So those are the tips. Basically, the point is for the chocolate melt fully into the cream. And again, if it's not all melted, microwave for 10 seconds or put it on top of the saucepan, and that heat will melt it down.
Samba, people are asking if you're going to be doing any more conventions. Is there anything you can reveal yet about that, or is
no, none planned yet. Christian, Con, and Nathan are hogging the ones in Miami and in London. They're the trendsetters. They have to go first, and then me and Vico and Reese can step in and just be like, "Hey, you guys had fun last year. Well, I hope you guys have fun with us." So hopefully there'll be more conventions coming for us soon. But yeah, Christian, Con, and Nathan are they're the trendsetters. They're the cool kids.
We also know a cool kid right here. Trend-setting cool kid, Samba Schutte. Julia also asks, does the crust need to cool before the filling goes in? We're ahead of schedule and impatient.
No. Go ahead and pour it in. And then once you've poured it in, basically it's going to go into the oven. But listen, first you want to make sure your chocolate is fully incorporated into the cream. And once that's fully melted, hopefully yours is. If not, microwave for 10 seconds. Or put it on top of the saucepan. You just heat it on like this for and keep stirring it until all the chocolate melts. Once it's fully incorporated, be silky smooth. You're basically gonna add your egg mixture to the chocolate as you keep whisking, okay? Because the heat can sometimes cook the egg. So keep whisking as you add the egg to the chocolate. If some of the egg gets cooked, if you notice some pieces of whatever it's called, chalets, I think is the official term, don't worry, you can strain your mixture into the tart shell using a strainer. So it's nice and smooth. So whisk that together so it's fully incorporated. I don't know why there's a fruit fly around the chocolate. It's not ready yet, buddy.
I see someone who's working furiously in the background there, but we haven't spoken to them yet. Andrew, how's it going over there? I see you off in the distance, working hard. Here, well, I mute you here.
Hey, Andrew.
Hi. Sorry, yeah, I'm just waiting. I'm just staring at everything. Why aren't you heating it? You're on high and you're still not bubbling on the sides.
Oh, damn it, Cream. Come on. Then yeah, turn up the heat.
I know. It's on high right now. So I'm
okay.
trying to make sure I don't burn it.
That's fine. It'll get there.
Wait, Andrea, is that a mushroom t-shirt? What is that?
It is. It is a mushroom shirt.
That is rad.
Oh, that's amazing. I love the apron too. Is that like a denim?
Yeah, it's a denim apron.
Nice.
I like mushroom things. I got a bunch of mushroom things around my house too, like in my cookie jars of mushroom.
Oh, rad. Yeah, we have a lot of mushroom little like night lights and stuff.
Are you a Mario fan?
I do like Mario, yeah. But I actually mushroom foraging.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
That's amazing.
Nice.
Fantastic Fungi is a great documentary. all
That's
about
it is. I've watched it. Yeah, I love that.
Love that.
Yeah.
I hope
Paul
your cream
Stamets.
hope your cream comes to an almost boil.
It just did. So
And great. Pour that into the chocolate. Let it sit for a second. Stir it. And then don't worry if you're behind, because the next step is straightforward. Once the chocolate melts with the cream, you've added the eggs. You whisk that. It's time to pour it into your tart shell. Okay. Don't worry if your tart shell is not cool. That doesn't matter. Just evenly pour the filling in there. Do not taste this. It's got raw eggs, and raw eggs can cause salmonella. And trust me, you do not want salmonella. I had it once, and yeah, frequent visits to the toilet, and I don't wish that on anybody. So once that's in there, right? Again, your tart pan will be hot. Just get it evenly spread and flat. And that's gonna go into the oven for about 18 minutes. Now, again, be very careful when you lift your tart pan. It is the removable bottom, it will pop up. So you wanna hold it up from the sides. It's hot to use your oven mitts. If it's your springform pan, don't worry about it. If it's hot, just use your mittens. And place it gently into the oven, which should still be on 350 degrees. All right, so I'm just gonna gently lift the man from the sides. Be very careful. Come this far.
To the person who just said Sambanella, I don't have any words for you. I pretty
Sambanella?
Yeah, somebody just said Sambanella.
That's what it was. I was dancing the samba on my way to the bathroom every time. So that's gonna go in the oven for 18 to 20 minutes. So just set your timers. Hey Siri, set a timer for 18 minutes. And now again, it's time to do the dishes. In all honesty, you'll only need your saucepan and your small bowl. So don't worry about the chocolatey bowl and all that stuff. Just toss this into the trash. Shells.
Somebody said, how many series did that trigger? Hey Siri, and then look up Sambanilla.
As my voice, can you imagine? Okay, so we got 18 minutes to chat, you guys. Have I talked to everybody in the front row?
Let's see. Yeah, it's front row. Just raise your hand or message us if we haven't chatted yet. We want to make sure we get to everybody.
Because I'm so excited, you guys. I can see you guys. Oh, okay. Someone's eating the chocolate. That's what I do. Absolutely, 100%.
Sweet. There we go. Hey, Corey.
Hey, Corey.
Hello.
Hi.
I think that worked.
How's it going?
It's not my question. What is Roche's favorite dish to make?
Roach's favorite dish to make. It's a tough one. On set, there were a lot of those pickle sandwiches. I don't know if you saw those. Basically a pickle, right? And then a piece of like ham or cheese or brie in the middle, and then a pickle underneath, and it's tied with a string. And that was featured a lot everywhere. So I think I was like, oh, wow. I guess Roach has a thing for pickle sandwiches for some reason. So those were everywhere, and I tell you, they were delicious. They were edible. Our props department did that, and they were perfect. They were really good. So yeah, pickle sandwiches. Wonderful. Apparently.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I don't know, Charlie. Should I dish out a few things?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the release date for season 2 is Sorry,
Oh,
Zeb.
wait, what was that? I didn't catch that, Samba. Or you think your sound went out? What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry. The release date for season 2 is
Can anybody read lips? I don't know.
Beto, stop it.
Berto, don't you
no.
don't you do this? Nope.
We don't have a release date just yet. They haven't even told us, you guys. But I do check in. You know me, I'm all about the BTS. I'm in touch with everybody on the crew. And I've been chatting with the guy who does the VFX for us, David Van Dyke, who's amazing. And he's making it look like, wonderful. All the oceanscapes and all the stuff that you see in season 1, David was doing for season 2. There's so many Davids on our set, it's ridiculous. We have 3 or 4 Davids, but only one Jenkins. And he's saying that they're working with Weta, and Weta are the people who did Lord of the Rings and all that kind of good stuff. And they're working with Weta to finalize the visual effects. So I think it's gonna look fantastic. Season 2 is epic. We filmed in New Zealand, for those who didn't know. It was fun filming in New Zealand. We were all staying in the same area, an area called Ponsonby, which is considered the Beverly Hills of New Zealand, even though it's just like cafes. And we were all staying there, and we got a lot of eyes on us because we were scraggly, hairy, beardy. A lot of the grime and dirt from set we'd take with us home. And so us sitting in a restaurant would turn heads because they were like, who the heck are these people? And why are they eating here? And that's exactly what New Zealand was for us. It was just basically 3 months of long nails, long beards, dirt, grime, and just walking around pubs and bars going, what you looking at? Yeah, we're pirates. It's fantastic. The nature in New Zealand is stunning, breathtaking. That's why we filmed there. Hint, hint, for some of the landscapes. The crew, really nice, really sweet. The set was wonderful. Huge set, you guys. Multiple ships. That's not a spoiler. Multiple ships. Huge builds. What can I say? That's not gonna kill me. Oh, there's a dinghy. There's a dinghy in season 2. That's not a spoiler. There's a dinghy. I'm really curious how you guys think we get off the island. If we get off the island.
I love that the audience is going nuts over the word ships right now, because there are multiple meanings of ships.
Well,
there are ships.
There's many ships, many layers of whatever you want that to be. And it's exactly what you're hoping, maybe praying for, and maybe not. Heartbreak and disaster and drama, but maybe love and heartbreak and drama, and maybe love and war and maybe love and drama and heartbreak and maybe love. So without giving away too much, there's a dinghy. Here's a story about a dinghy. In season 1, we had the ship rock on airbags. Okay, it was like, and we got seasick, a lot of us. Season 2, they decided not to have airbags, so there was no rocking, thank goodness. But there was a scene where we were in a dinghy, okay, and they're like, oh, this is so awesome. Basically, this is a new technology we're gonna use. It's got this, like, what is it called? What's that? Hydraulics. It's a hydraulic system, and basically it's gonna rock the dinghy. Like, these air pressure pumps are gonna go, and it's gonna rock this dinghy, so it looks like you guys are rowing. And they're like, we're gonna try it out. Anybody want to volunteer? And we're all like, no. And Christian is like, fuck it, I'm here. Let me just sit down. So he sits in this dinghy, and they're testing the hydraulics, and it's like, and Christian looks like a kid on those, those rides outside the supermarket where you put a quarter in, and it's just going. And so we're like, oh, that looks safe. Is flashing the battery? Okay, we're gonna change the battery up real quick, and then I'll finish the rest of this story. No, it's gonna flash. It's gonna cut. Gonna just switch up the batteries, you guys. 1 second for the camera. Cliffhanger. Dun dun dun.
Dun 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 dun. All right. So while they switch out battery, real quick, Samba, do you mind? I don't know if you can hear me. Do you mind if we do the Sir the Top giveaway?
Yeah. All right.
Great.
I'll be right there.
Okay. So we use the random number generator to pick a random registrant here today. So at Samba's request, we have randomly selected this person. And this person, if you are here, we're going to bring you in, whether you're an attendee or a front row. So without further ado, oh, there it is. Without further ado, number 6,548,000, you are the lucky winner. And your name is Taylor Bradley. Taylor Bradley, please raise your hand. Taylor, why don't you come on in? Maud, if you could help us, Kristen, if you could help us bring Taylor in here.
Yep. There we go. She's on our way.
Taylor Bradley, winner of the Sur la Table gift card.
Sur la Table. I'm not going to do more.
Where's Taylor?
Here we go.
Yay! Yay,
Oh my
Taylor!
God.
Yay! Do you bake?
I do now.
Yeah, I know you might. I guess I do now. That's amazing. Congrats.
What
You got
part of
Thank
the
you so
world are
much.
you in?
$100 gift card to Sur la Table, where it doesn't have to just be for baking. It can be for cooking or any supplies you need, like a new bowl, a whisk, a blender, whatever. They have it all there, and you can order it online. They got beautiful tea towels, aprons, teacups. So we're gonna get that gift card number to you, and feel free to use it to your heart's whim and will. Thank you, Taylor.
Oh my gosh.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yay! Enjoy.
They
All
have
right,
really
we're back.
awesome classes too, by the way. Amazing classes.
Nice.
So, we did
That's,
it.
I think we did it. Yeah, see that time. Oh yeah, where was I? Dinghy. So we get onto the dinghy, right? They're like, it's safe. Christian survived it. Let's get on there. So it's 5 of us, and I can tell you the names. It's not a spoiler. It's me, Samson, Christian, and one other person. And we're on the dinghy, and they're like, action, and then we're like rowing. We're doing the scene as going shh, and we're like, this is fun. And then it goes and it doesn't stop. And we're like, oh shit, and it stops right here. And we're all hanging sideways like this. And Matt screams the loudest. I thought I would. Matt screams the loudest. He's like, oh my God. And we were stuck that way for like 5 minutes because we couldn't get out, right? All the techs are like, just hang on, you guys. I'm sorry. We're going to fix this hydraulic thing because if we get you out, you'll fall on your heads or whatever. So we're like just holding on for dear life. And the dinghy broke, and we were on there for 5 minutes. And at the end of the day, they didn't use the hydraulic system for this dinghy scene. I doubt we even have that dinghy scene anymore. It was a disaster, and we still got seasick, which was the whole point of not having a hydraulic system and airbags in season 2. That was still a disaster that day. So that's my dinghy BTS story for season 2, as much as I can tell you. There's some not shade. There's some really privy information I have about season 1 that you guys wouldn't have known. If you guys want to hear that. Okay. Basically in the very, 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 very original script, I've not told this to anybody, so this is just for you guys, okay? In the very, very, very first draft of the script, okay, there was wee John Feeney, right, Christian, and this character called Big John Feeney, Christian's brother. Now, Big John Feeney was supposed to be played by this very small Irish man, okay? This beautiful actor from Ireland. And it was supposed to be the 2 brothers. Wee John, massive, Big John, tiny. And there was supposed to be 2 brothers, and Christian was supposed to be the nice, gentle giant. And Big John Feeney, the small Irishman, was supposed to be like, back here, we don't believe in you, Captain, just like the really aggressive character. Unfortunately, this poor actor, they did not give him the visa. Like Ireland, it was just at the height of COVID, and Ireland are like, we're sorry, we can't just give you this visa to leave to America. We're so sorry. And so it was heartbreaking because we met him during the table read on Zoom, and it was heartbreaking that at the end of the day, he couldn't come, he couldn't leave the country. And so Jenkins had to rewrite wee John Feeney, Christian's character, as a combination of both those brothers. The one who's gentle, but at the same time, the one who wants to set everything on fire. And that made me, Roach, have to be more chaotic to fill in that gap that Big John Feeney would have filled if he were there. So R.I.P. Big John Feeney.
That's wild that a visa could stop that entirely, and then
It was so heartbreaking because I know this. I'm an immigrant. I had to have a visa to come to America, and it was the height of COVID, so they were not letting people out. They were really strict, and he was super sweet during the table read, and he would have added such a layer of comedy and fun, and just more interaction with the crew. But you know what they say, at the end of the day, everything for a reason, and we managed to solve it. The crew is balanced with all their dynamics, and yeah, it just worked out for, I think, hopefully everybody's best reasons at heart. There was also a character they were developing called Salty, but he never made it either. Like Salty, it was just an idea they had.
I like that you got to inherit all the chaos and unhingedness.
yeah, and saltiness apparently.
Salty, yeah.
Roach is just like taking on the characteristics of all the characters who were deleted from original pilot. It's like, this is me. I am everyone. Yeah.
People are asking about other projects that you're working on too, so that they can support you there and what you're up to.
Thank you guys. I've done a few indie films this past year. One of them I just wrapped where I played a demon, which was a lot of fun. Got to put on contact lenses for the first time in my life, which how do you guys do it? It's just like, you look A, very ridiculous doing it, and B, it's just the most unnatural thing in the world to touch your eyeball or even pinch it to get the thing out. So it was a disaster, and I'm never gonna do it again. But it was fun to have those contacts on and the prosthetics and sit in a makeup chair for 3 hours and play a demon. So that's done. That's gonna come out next year at some point. Doing some voiceovers for some fun animation projects and video games that are going to come out this year. I can't say which ones, but it's some projects that the fandom follows, is all I can say. So that'll be exciting to announce when it's time to do that. So I thank you guys. I mean, your support means everything, not only for our flag, but just overall. So again, I just want to take this time to just say thank you to everybody who's here today for this baking class, to raise money for Every Mother Counts, to be Momentus, to Stands, to all you people who made this possible. I appreciate you, and I hope we won't disappoint you with season 2 whenever it comes out on Max.
Yes, Max.
Why?
Maximum.
So that's gonna on Max. So yeah, I'm excited for that whole journey. Just hang in there, you guys. It's gonna be worth it. Good things come to those who wait, right?
So how much time do you have left on your oven, and everybody?
Yeah,
how are you
so
guys doing?
I was just gonna say I have 2.5 minutes, but for those of you who have powerful ovens, check on your tart just a little bit. What you want to do is kind of just using your oven mitts, just wiggle the pan a little bit. And what you want to see is that the edges of the chocolate filling are set, but the middle is still wobbly. It's still twerking in your face, because what you want is for that to be a bit loose. If it's fully set, time to get it out. If the edges are not fully set yet, just let it sit for a second. But you want the edges to be set and the middle to be a bit jiggly. Don't worry if it looks loose, because it's gonna set anyway when it cools down. All right, it's got eggs, it's got cream, it's gonna set either way. So yeah, just let me check on my tart to see how it jiggles.
And then while you're off camera, to everybody who's super unhinged and asking for Steed cupcakes again for the next one, can we finish this one first? Let's just finish this. Let's finish what we're doing here, and then we'll talk about future things. Those cupcakes did sound good though. They look pretty dang good. Also cupcakes. I would eat the tops of cupcakes all day. They're like muffins, but cooler. All right, so
Yeah,
we got
yeah. Mine is set, and I'll show you what it looks like. Again, it's a tart pan, so lift it from the sides, put it on a flat surface, or the bottom will pop out. So you can see it's pretty set, which is totally fine. and it's still got a bit of a jiggle, a bit of a wobble. And that's what you want. The edges are set, the middle's still wobbly. That's perfect. So that's step 2, you guys. Victory dance.
Well done. Just a reminder, we want to see your creations, your masterpieces, your disaster pieces. So please post them and tag Samba Momentus. We would love to see.
Please. I want to inundate my socials with these chocolate tarts.
Yep.
Make people's mouths water.
Yeah. Not a single hinge. Correct.
I hope everyone's caught up. I hope your tarts have turned out okay. Any questions or concerns?
Yeah. Front row, how are you guys doing? Everybody good? Yeah, Melissa, Alice. Oh yeah, there we go.
Awesome. Front row seems happy. Good to know. So
Yeah,
now it's time for the final step, you guys, which is the glaze on top. So remember the little medium bowl you had? Let's bring that guy out. And you'll need your medium saucepan to heat up the cream. Basically, you're going to repeat what you did with the filling, but now with a few different ingredients. So for your glaze, you want another bittersweet chocolate. I like using Guittard. I like using 2 separate kinds of chocolates because they just give that slight difference in flavor. So this one's darker. This one's 73%. My bittersweet one was like 63 or something. So what you're gonna need is about 3 ounces of chocolate, which is 85 grams or half a cup. Now for this, I'm not gonna mess around. I'm not gonna measure by feel. I'm actually gonna use a cup. So I'm gonna use half a cup of chocolate to put that into my glass bowl. Again, if you're using chocolate bars, you'll have to chop them up finely. Watch your fingers. I use chocolate chips because it's way easier for the cream to melt the chocolate. So about half a cup, go in there. Boom. And again, if your ganache or cream splits, there's ways to fix that, either by adding more chocolate or more cream so it fully melts and integrates. Don't panic if you don't have the right amount of chocolate or cream. Half a cup of chocolate chips, and then a bit of coffee. Now, some people asked if you need to have coffee. You do not, okay? This is just to amp up the flavor a little bit. Coffee helps chocolate pop more. I like using Hawaiian Kona coffee, but please, you can use Folgers, you can use Nescafe, you can use Starbucks coffee, whatever your favorite coffee is. And you're just gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon, so very little coffee, and just add that to your chocolate basically. And just kind of stir them together. Don't have to use coffee, you guys, but it just helps distinguish the flavor at the top. So that's that. Then we're gonna heat up some cream. We're gonna heat up a 1/4 cup of cream, which is 60 milliliters, in the medium saucepan, which is very little, a 1/4 cup, so it'll heat faster, hopefully this time. You won't have to put it on high heat. But what you want to do is just put in your medium saucepan and again heat it up so it starts to come to a small boil. About a 1/4 cup cream, and you heat that up on medium heat and let it come to a simmer. Again, you want to see the sides bubble up and boil up to show that's hot enough. Don't come up to a full boil, but just have the sides bubble up, boil up, and we're gonna basically put it in this bowl to make your glaze. It's exciting, guys. We're almost done with this.
We're almost done.
I hope, isn't it? It's an easier recipe than I think you thought it was, right?
It looked daunting at first, to be honest with you. And then
It did.
Okay, I can do this.
Yeah, I hope, first time bakers and people who are, excited to bake just see that it's not as daunting as it seems. So keep an eye on your cream. Let that come to a boil on the sides. Everyone up to date, everyone good.
Yep, asking if it goes, but nope, back in the oven or not. They're asking.
You can turn your oven off. I'm sorry I didn't say that earlier. You can turn your oven off now. It's done, unless you like heating up your home with it. But no, turn your oven off. Oh, good tip while this is heating up. If you've used the springform pan, now's a good time to use a smooth knife to go around the edges of your crust. So between the pan and your crust, just use a smooth knife to just kind of go around the whole edges. So it kind of just separates a little bit and doesn't stick to the edge of the pan as it cools down. Just run a smooth knife. Don't worry, the crust is supposed to be crumbly, chaotically crumbly. Just do that. That'll help you separate it later from the pan. And again, I'm going to show you how to remove the tart from the pan once it's all done. So, keep an eye on your cream. Mine's boiling. Once it's got the edges going, pour it into your chocolate and coffee mixture. Again, let it sit for a second. Let them get to know one another, like Izzy and the sandwich, which I enjoyed tossing at his head over 11 times. That was my idea, by the way. Of course, it was supposed to land in the water, and I'm like, Con, can I hit your head? He's like, oh, and got to do that 11 times. So he's a trooper. Get to stir that once it's settled in. Once it's set, so the chocolate can slowly release its fats, just gently stir that. Again, if it's not fully melted, put it in the microwave for 10 seconds so that all the chocolate bits melt in the cream. Or put it on top of the saucepan. That's hot. Turn off the heat on the saucepan, but keep the saucepan on the heat on the stove, and the heat from it will help melt it. Basically, you want to make sure all your chocolate's fully melting in the cream, so that's a smooth texture. If it's grainy, it means that the cream was probably not hot enough. So just again, put it in the microwave or use some heat to melt it. If it's too runny, add some chocolate and then melt that again in the microwave or on top of your saucepan. But you want it to be nice and smooth. Any questions?
Let's see, any questions? We've got people asked how you got into baking. You've shared it a couple of times in some places, but maybe you want to talk about how you came to start baking.
So my mom's a huge baker, and I grew up assisting her here and there, just watching how she would create all these little things in our little stove in like Ethiopia and Mauritania. And I was fascinated by it. And then when I moved to America, after going to college in Holland, moved to America, I started missing home. And I was like, okay, the only way I can have mom's treats is by trying to make them myself. So I got into baking about 9 years ago. I started baking and then developing my own cakes and recipes. My very first creation was the Samba cake. I call it a Samba cake because it's half black, half white, and super exotic. But also because it's chocolate, coffee, and coconut, which are my three. Like I love those three flavor combinations. And after that, getting feedback from like my partner and like my family and friends here, they started encouraging me to keep going. And I've loved baking ever since. It relaxes me, it calms me down. It's allowed me to share the joy, share the love, and can't stop, won't stop. Chocolate addict. Being a chocolate addict helps. Okay, hopefully by now, your glaze is fully melted here, right? Fully incorporated. Again, if it's not, pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds, keep stirring it, or put it on top of the saucepan with that heat to melt it. Once it's fully incorporated, it's time to pour it over your filling. Now, if you have a springform pan, now is a good time to release the pan, and your crust will hold. Okay, so basically just unclick this part and gently lift it up. And your crust will hold. It'll crumble everywhere, which is totally fine. But just lift that off and it will hold its shape. And leave it on the plate for now because it's still too hot to remove it. So leave it on the plate for now. But the reason I'm removing it from the springform pan is because when you pour this glaze on top of your tart, you don't want it to touch the edges of the crust, or the crust will break even more because it's going to be liquid touching it.
There's some questions too, Samba, about coffee grounds
Yeah,
versus instant coffee or something else. Just want to clear.
that's totally fine, you know, because the heat from the cream will melt the coffee a little bit into the chocolate. So coffee grounds are fine, not whole coffee beans. I mean, maybe you can, but you want this tart to be as smooth as possible. So just a few grounds are fine.
Yep.
All right, so pour it onto your tart, you guys. I always just start in the middle. Get it all in there. This you can eat. This won't give you salmonella. Doesn't have any raw eggs, so feel free to lick the spoon clean. And basically spread it out around your tart pan, sorry. Get to the edges, don't go all the way to the crust, but as far as you can to the edges. You can use a spoon, you can use a spatula. I just use the bottom side of the spoon. And just spread it out as evenly and flatly as you can. I do sound like Bob Ross. Let's add a tree, put a little tree in the end. A little happy tree. Happy little chocolate tree. Spread it out. If it does touch the crust, like it's not the end of the world. But you want it just to, so you can show also people that there's multiple layers to this tart. And the little bit of the filling showing its shoulders or legs. It's a nice little tease. Yeah, as flatly as you can. And that's almost it, you guys. We're almost there. It's that one little step to go. How's everyone doing? Yeah, I see thumbs up. I see happy faces. I see people licking spoons. That's what you want. Yeah, so we're almost there, you guys. Last step would be to add some flakes of sea salt. Now, you don't have to. It just helps the tart look pretty. The salt adds a whole dimension of flavor to the chocolate. Salt, chocolate, and coffee are just salt and chocolate. You know, you don't want to add the salt flakes too soon because the glaze is still warm. The salt flakes will kind of melt or sink, and you want them to sit on top. So what I tend to do is just wait about 5 to 10 minutes for the glaze to kind of cool down a bit, harden a bit, so that when you add the salt flakes, they'll sit on top like beautiful crystals. So I'm just going to wait 5 minutes before I add the salt flakes. In the meantime, I'll show you how to remove the tart from the pan. So I made one yesterday. Sorry, chaos baby. Had to. Just so I can demonstrate this tart to you guys. This is my tart from yesterday. I added the salt. Like it's about a teaspoon of salt, okay? Some people like less, some people like more. You just want to sprinkle it around. You can add the salt when the glaze is like fully hard, but then it won't kind of integrate into the glaze. It'll just kind of sit on top and move all over the plate. So I like to put it before that. Okay, so removing the tart from the pan. Now, some people are using ceramic pans. Unfortunately, that's going to be hard to remove the tart from the pan because it's ceramic and doesn't have a removable bottom. So just serve it in the pan. If you have a springform pan, you can serve it because by now you've removed your springform ring around the thing. I like putting my tart in the fridge once it's done, just so the tart shell can harden and it makes it easier to lift. So the reason I added parchment paper like this on the springform pan is so that once it's time to serve the pan, the tart, you can lift it off the springform pan by lifting both sides of the parchment paper, and I'll take it off like very gently and put it on a serving plate. I'll take it off the baking pan. And then you can place it on a serving plate and I don't know, cut all this, or even if it's hard enough, remove the whole parchment paper from the bottom. But the crust is going to be super crumbly either way. So I've served my tarts on the tart pans before because you don't want to damage it. I understand that. But for the removable tart pans, at least you want to remove the edges. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Basically, it's a removable bottom. So what you want is to place the pan on an elevated surface. So the bottom pops up. And you can use anything for this. You can use a cup, a glass. I'll just use the food processor. Foods here. So place the tart pan on the elevated surface around the middle, and gently you'll see that the top comes off, right? All right. And don't worry if it's crumbly, it's meant to be crumbly. So at this point, you can just kind of gently lift that, remove this guy, and put it on the plate and serve it like that, which is the safest thing to do because removing the bottom can be very tricky. There's different techniques people use. What I like to do sometimes, and I'll just try this, why not? You know, what's the worst that can happen? Run a smooth knife around the metal bottom of the tart pan. It's going to be tricky to get it on there. I've done it before. I think I should just do this. Just put it on the elevated surface so my hands are not going to be responsible for it falling off. So basically slide your knife right between the tart and the removable bottom. Okay, once you wedged it in, gently run your knife around the whole thing. So it kind of just lifts it up. I don't know how this is going to turn out. But basically turn it around and let the knife run around the whole bottom. Okay. This is for pros, you guys. I would just serve it on the thing. And then once you've gone around the whole thing, it should be easier to lift it. Gonna be all right, yeah, once you run your knife around it. Oh boy, you asked for chaos. This is the moment it happened. No. All right, so I didn't do it well. As you can tell, there's still some of the crust stuck to the plate, but not bad. Look at this. Some of my crust still got stuck to it. Yeah, you'll still have a crust bottom. Grandma won't know. Grandma won't know. So just that's the way to remove it from the tart pan, which is tricky. I just serve it mostly on the bottom plate. Just, you know, no one cares. It's about the flavor. So that's how you remove the tart from the tart pan. For those who just made theirs, now is the time to put your salt flakes. So I just like to grab a little bit of a pinch and just kind of sprinkle it around. Okay, for those who are serving the tart immediately without putting it in the fridge, just remove this side. It'll come off. Even though it's hot, just be careful. But serve it, I'd recommend serving it on this guy, because if it doesn't cool down enough, this is what can happen. For the rest of you, you can let it sit out for another 10 minutes before putting it in the fridge, and then it'll be ready to serve. And this tart goes really well with whipped cream, with berries, yeah, fresh fruit, and that's the decadent chocolate tart, you guys. I think we made it happen.
Did it! We did it. Amazing, Samba. Yes. Amazing, everybody. This has been awesome. I first wanted to say, Berto, thank you. We know we've run over. Thank you. Your arms and shoulders are probably.
Berto, you deserve a slice, Berto.
Yeah, we're going to send you some chocolate and some massages. So just before we finish up here, we want to see your creations. So please post them and tag Samba and Momentus.
Please,
We'd love to
please,
see
please
them.
do.
Yeah.
And let's take a group screenshot.
Yeah. Let's do
that.
it for yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Okay. For
There we
those who are
go.
not on camera, just smile anyway. We'll feel it.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Did it. All right. So just as a couple of pieces of housekeeping before we move on to our meet and greets, and I can get Berto on his way. Our next experience is coming up. We have a knitting class coming up that's going to be finishing registration next week. We have a lot more coming up, including another cast member from a certain pirate show that you are all familiar with. Stay tuned for that. You were the first people to hear about this. Please make sure you're following us and subscribe to all the. Anyway, I can't say anything about it yet. And a meet and greet in Group A. Please stick around here. If everyone else could move in an orderly fashion to the exits at the fore and aft of the plane. In these areas, that would be very helpful to help our mod out. Thank you everyone for being here today. Thank you so much, and thank you for creating this moment with us. We really appreciate it.